So in today's video, ladies and gents, I'm going to be reviewing the new Netflix movie, The News of the World, starring Tom Hanks and based on a book by Paulette Giles. So I thought, in the vein of Tom Hanks' character in this movie, I'd read you some news headlines, but not dressed like this. Give me 1 second.
Do you have any idea how fast I am? I'm fast as fuck, boy!
Thank you, ladies and gents, thank you for your support. This is your news lines at 10, and in UK news we have man 62 has to have his penis surgically removed from cat after falling off toilet seat trying to reach Viagra tablets. The man, who has a great deal of embarrassment, was not seriously injured. And into your local news headlines, ladies and gents. Boston woman 28 gets hit by Deliveroo driver whilst ordering food on her phone from Just Eat. Yes, she was unarmed, and in the end she did decide to get a Mackie D's. And in worldwide news, ladies and gentlemen, this is just breaking, just news in. Austrian village fucking changes its name to shitting after whole population gets struck down with food poisoning. Who gave me these lies to read? Are these even real news headlines? Where's my manager? Adrian? Adrian? I don't even know what I'm doing here. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. I just had to go and get my tie. How long was I gone? What just happened? Anyway, ladies and gents, forget what I was just talking about. This is my review of News of the World, coming up right after this. So just before we get into the video, guys, I've just realised whilst I was editing that I do give away quite a bit of the film, so if you don't want to be spoiled for News of the World, go and watch one of my other videos and come back once you've watched it. So now then, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a smashing day, just like myself, and as always, I am your host, Bryn Williams, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing The News of the World. The News of the World stars Tom Hanks and 12-year-old German actress Helena Zengel in her first English language movie. The film is set 5 years after the American Civil War and follows veteran Captain Jefferson Kyle Kidd, who rides from town to town reading the news to the masses. Whilst travelling, he comes across young Johanna Leonberger, an adopted Kiowa native, with whom he is tasked to return to her real family. So yeah, ladies and gents, I've literally just pressed pause on the film. I've run upstairs, set my camera up so I can get my thoughts down as quickly as possible, and I have to be honest, I love this movie. I just got to talk about some of the good things first. Firstly, Paul Greengrass, you've outdone yourself yet again. I love him when he does Jason Bourne films.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
He then teamed up again with Matt Damon to do Green Zone, which is a Afghanistan war movie. And then obviously he's teamed up with Tom Hanks before on Captain Phillips.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
And I just think these two are a great pairing together. He knows how to get the best out of Tom Hanks. I think this is one of Tom Hanks' best performances in a very long time. I liked him in The Post and Bridge of Spies, and I think he's hitting that level. He just puts so much emotion into this role. You can tell from the very beginning how it's going to kind of pan out with him once he meets Johanna, played by Helena Zengel. And you just kind of know they're going to go on this emotional journey where she gets to know him and learns English and becomes kind of attached to him. So when he finally has to let her go in the end, there's where your emotional climax comes from. Tom Hanks, from very beginning to the very end, is just stellar. He puts in one of these subtle, emotional performance. You know, there's a lot about this character. This character carries a lot of baggage with him. Obviously, it's set after the Civil War, and him being a veteran, he's seen all sorts of horrors and things during the Civil War. As you find out further through the movie, his wife has died from cholera, so he's got all this baggage that you can feel that's weighing this character down. At first, he doesn't want to take on the responsibility of looking after Johanna, and then slowly but surely realises it's the right thing to do. And there's a scene about halfway through the movie that I absolutely love, where he goes into this very conservative town represses people's thoughts. Obviously it's set during the Civil War, so we didn't have any like civil rights back then for black people and stuff, and all these people are being punished. And the only way Tom Hanks is going to get let in to read his newspaper is if he reads the paper that's given to him by this like kind of dictator of this town. And he chooses to throw that guy's paper out and read a story about some mine workers. It's such an inspirational scene. He kills it throughout that part without talking about the rest of the movie. There's some subtle emotion towards the end when he finally has to give up Helena. And he's just amazing in this film. I've really enjoyed his performance, and I hope to see another Tom Hanks performance like this. So now let's get on to Helena Zengel. Obviously it's her first English language film. A lot of it she's speaking the Kiowa native language, which for a native German speaker it must be really hard to like kind of learn a brand new language, especially at 12 years old. And English if she didn't already know English. And oh my god, what a powerhouse performance from this actress. She's 12 years old and she's put in a performance in this film that's way beyond her years. You could tell she's this tormented person, a bit like Tom Hanks' character Captain Kidd. She's had her family ripped away from her by the Kiowa natives, and then she becomes a Kiowa because she was too young to actually remember being German and with her German family. So to see that, and throughout the whole film she gives these like really heartfelt performance. The way she kind of acts towards Captain Kidd at the beginning, towards the end of the film, is such a stark contrast, and it's so well pulled off by these two actors that I honestly don't know what to say. I'd love to see these two in a film together again. I don't know how they'd do it, but such a great pairing, such great chemistry, like father-daughter chemistry between these two. The action scenes in this movie, especially at Tom Hanks, he's getting on now. The shootouts that they have were fantastic, I have to say. Paul Greengrass, with his action photography that he's picked up from like Jason Bourne and films like that, it portrays it so realistically. Like when they're doing the shootout, it's not just like bullets flying everywhere and you can see them and CGI mess. It's a really tense, edgy, heart palpating moment, and the way Paul Greengrass's subtle shaky cam adds to it kind of gives you that feeling of off edge. I don't normally like shaky cam. I think people like Michael Bay overuse it, but when it's done subtly like this, I think it's great. I just want to take a minute to talk about James Newton Howard's score. What a fantastic Western score. Yes, it sounds very similar to a lot of Western scores you've probably heard before, but it just adds to the atmosphere within this film. Even though it's made like a modern film, it makes you feel like this film was made back in the 50s, 60s, 70s when all the old classic Westerns were made. And James Newton Howard's done some brilliant scores before. He did Batman Begins and he's done some other ones that I really enjoyed, so hats off to him. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I really enjoyed this film. The performances from Tom Hanks and Helena Zengel are right at the forefront of why this movie is so good, along with Paul Greengrass. The supporting characters in this film, even though they only flash up every so often, add to the atmosphere. Very much felt like a Red Dead Redemption type of story, like Arthur Morgan from that game picking up a kid and taking him home and going on this huge journey across Texas. And yeah, that's about everything I wanted to say on this film, ladies and gents. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. It's a great film. It's on Netflix right now. It's like top 3 trending. Go and give Tom Hanks and Paul Greengrass and that some love. And for a rating, ladies and gents, I'm probably going to give this film an 8 out of 10. So yeah, ladies and gents, that just about does it for today's video. If you like the video, as always, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and the notification bell. Also, don't forget to go and follow me on my socials. I've got Twitter, I've got Facebook, I've got Twitch, I've got Instagram, that's the one I was forgetting. And yeah, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you seen this film yet? What did you think? Do you love Tom Hanks' performance like I do? Do you think it's a very dated film that we shouldn't be making anymore? Just let me know down in the comments, ladies and gents. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I shall see you in a bit. Goodbye.